Is it on? Okay. What's going on, everybody? Clutch Cinema Talk again. And since the world is coming to an end as we know it, I just wanted to let you guys know some movies you could watch to celebrate. So, these are going to be in no specific order, just anything. So these are 10 movies, 10 pandemic movies that you can watch while you are quarantined, while you're sitting there not touching anything with your hand sanitizers destroying your hands, alright? Okay, you're gonna like these. I promise you, hopefully. So, 10, at the number 10, let's go with the Planet of the Apes trilogy. Now, if you're like, wait a second, that's not a pandemic movie. Well, let me remind you, the Planet of the Apes trilogy, after, how did it start? Oh, in the first one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, one of the apes, I think he I don't know, something happens. Oh, they're testing him, and then the guy, he gets that, bloody nose or whatever, and he sneezes, and he's is a pilot. That leads into the next one, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, where, almost half of humanity has gone down from the virus, and then War of the Planet of the Apes is the last remaining, Americans. So, if we're going down that path where apes are going to come over and take the world, I'm all for it. Listen, I'm all for it because a lot of apes are taking over the planet. So, you got the Planet of the Apes trilogy. That's, you know, Caesar and stuff. It's very enjoyable. If you're not about the monkeys, though, let's get into number 9, which is more zombie-ish, which I got 28 Days Later. And in 28 Days Later stars Cillian Murphy. And what happens in this one is animal rights activists, they're all, you know, love animals, and they go and they release this chimp that's from a lab, but what's going on with this chimp, he has this virus, so, you know, almost got him there, animal activists, but they released this chimp into the streets or whatever, and everything goes to hell. So what happens is Cillian Murphy, he wakes up from a coma, hence 28 Days Later. I think that's why it's called 28 Days. You know what? Whatever. I don't care. He wakes up and he's a citizen or whatever. And he wakes up and the city's barren. Like, you wake up and you see New York City barren. This is in London. And he finds out that the people who are infected from this virus are basically zombies. Basically zombies. So Cillian Murphy runs into a group of survivors, and the movie plays out following those group of survivors. 28 Days Later, I believe, 28 Days Later, I think you can rent that one. Yeah. Alright, so let's go to number 8. Now, number 8, it's not all touchy, virusy thingy, but number 8 is It Comes at Night. And It Comes at Night, this is a post-apocalyptic world, so this is following the events. Everything has gone to duty, and there's few survivors. So in this movie, Joel Edgerton and his family are all cozy in their house. They're all chilling, right? End of the world, not a problem. We're chilling. We got toilet paper. We got everything. But what happens is a family comes knocking on the door, and they're desperate. They are desperate. They need a home, and Edgerton welcomes them in. And what happens is, playing out in this movie, it's just the tension between these two families. And the way I brought this movie, the reason I brought this movie up, because sometimes the craziness in a pandemic is not from the virus itself, it's from the people living in the fear. So this movie plays on that, which is why I just like to say, be careful with people today. With people, when people are afraid, they are gonna do crazy things. So I just like to say, be careful. It Comes at Night can be a perfect example of this, and shows what happens with, you know, trust and protecting your own family and doing things for your family. So that plays in this one, It Comes at Night. 7, we got The Bay. And in The Bay, this is a found footage film, more like, if you ever seen the Blair Witch Project, it's kind of like that, with the cameras, So in this one, it's a found footage film, and it just depicts of, there's a small Maryland town, and chaos just breaks out following an outbreak of an ecological disaster. All right. I saw that The reviews weren't that good on these. The reviews aren't good on mostly any of these, alright? We go to see movies and we like bad movies, okay? So screw the reviews right now, alright? The Bay, found footage film like the Blair Witch Project. You want a Blair Witch Project pandemic movie? You go on right here, The Bay. The Bay, the movie, alright? Number 6, we got Carriers. Carriers, we got a young Chris Pine, aka Captain Kirk. And Chris Pine and 3 others are on the run. This is during a pandemic, as most of these movies are. And they're moving across a desert, and it's like the It Comes at Night. What we find out is that the true horror isn't from the virus, it's from them, their tension. So it just follows that, plays on that. Chris Pine, stars Chris Pine. Emily Van Camp is in there from, she's from Civil War, I believe. One of those Captain America movies. She's Agent 13, whatever. Carriers, as they... I've never seen this movie, so I'm thinking Carriers, do they... Maybe all 4 of them have the disease, you know? Whatever. That's for you to figure out. Number 5, we've got The Crazies. Now, I'm going to recommend the 2010 one, only because I saw it plays more into that horror element, I believe. There's a newer one and there's an older one. I believe both of them are on, I believe one of them, wait. I think they're both Amazon Prime. So the Crazies, what happens is a strange plane has crashed nearby a farm town, and the result of the crash spreads this weird virus into the farm town. So what happens is this virus causes people to go, you guessed it, crazy. So these guys are going crazy. The people are infected. So we follow the sheriff, his wife, and 2 other people as they try to figure out how to get out of this town, out from these crazies, and escape, basically. You know, escape. That's what we all want to do. We all want to escape from reality. Anyway, let's go on to number 4. All right, we've got a sci-fi kind of one. 12 Monkeys. I'm sure you've heard of this one. 12 Monkeys. Bruce Willis plays a convict in this who is recruited to go back in time to stop the world from being destroyed by, here comes a sneeze coming. Whoop. Oh, disgusting. Wash your hands from that one, all right? We ain't taking no chances. Oof, disgusting. Ugh. Like I said, 12 Monkeys. Bruce Willis plays a convict, gets sent back in time. He's recruited to get sent back in time to stop the world from being destroyed by a man-made virus. That's an interesting one. I wonder who we're going to be sending back in time for this, if we were getting destroyed. But anyway, Brad Pitt's in this. One of his earlier movies, we got Bruce Willis. 12 Monkeys, one of the more famous of the time-traveling movies. So if you want some sci-fi in your pandemic, go and watch 12 Monkeys, okay? All right, number 3. Why am I going backwards? I should have just started from 1. Well, anyway, number 3, the one I believe most of you have seen. We've got another Brad Pitt movie, World War Z. And in World War Z, the world is rapidly plunging into madness as a virus spreads, turning people into zombies. So it follows Brad Pitt, former UN worker, and his family as they try to run from this outbreak of zombies. So if you want more zombies instead of time traveling, World War Z is for you, along with 28 Days Later, right? So that's World War Z. I like World War Z. It's an enjoyable movie, whether you're into viruses or zombies. I don't know, you know. So number 2, apparently this is like the second most, like, I think rented or watched or something like that movie of the year already. Contagion, starring a bunch of stars. Gwyneth Paltrow, okay, Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne, a bunch of these. Matt Damon is in this. I recently watched this. It's a disaster movie, a pandemic disaster movie. Basically, your worst nightmare of viruses as it affects the whole world, and it follows different people, and is showing different effects of this worldwide pandemic, and just shows how fast this thing is going by. A lot of people comparing this to the coronavirus now. I say it is. Some parts of it is, but a lot of these are, you know, for movie's sake. All right, so if you think this is what's gonna happen, it's I mean, this movie, everything goes to doo-doo in like 15 days or something like that. So, but it's enjoyable. It's scary, and I'm sure most of you have watched it or are gonna watch it. So, Contagion, that's it. We got that for number 2. Number 1, like I said, is no particular order. We got Outbreak. The reason why I got Outbreak, this is on Netflix. This is like the most watched Outbreak pandemic movie on Netflix. Outbreak follows an airborne virus that outbreaks in a California town. Dustin Hoffman, I think he's a scientist in this one. They are on the clock. The scientists are on the clock as they try to stop this outbreak before it leaks into the rest of the world and destroys civilization as we know it. Now, this one is an airborne virus, which is absolutely insane. So they got the hazmat suits on and everything for this one, which is what we're going to be wearing for summer 2020. So you better get a nice one. I'm thinking about getting like a neon green one or something like that. You can run with that at night. But yeah, there we go. Those are some 10 movies, 12 if you consider the Planet of the Apes trilogy. If you're not satisfied with those, I'll just throw a few ones your way. I'm not even gonna put a post on the side. Just write it down in your head. All right. On Netflix, we got a series called Containment. We've got 93 Days. There's a movie called 93 Days following the Ebola outbreak. It's based off the Ebola outbreak. We got Cargo, which stars Martin Freeman, and I think it's with like he's carrying his daughter, and they're trying to escape. You know, I think that's post-apocalyptic as well. What else? On Hulu, we got Contracted Phase 2. I think that's the second Contracted. Both of them are pandemic movies. You could check those out. If you want Alien, kind of like, you got Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 one on Amazon Prime. If you go to sleep, you get Mind Controlled by an Alien. Become an alien. It follows kind of like something spreading, you know. Other ones that you could probably rent or you hope you have. We got I Am Legend. All right, the classic Will Smith movie. We got Cabin Fever. That's another one. Also The Happening. The Happening. Oof. That's a bad movie. But maybe you like bad movies. I don't know what you guys like. So those are a few movies for you to check out if you're wanting to see pandemic movies. You want to scare yourself. If you want to make things seem worse than they are, you could check out those movies. Personally, my favorites are the Planet of the Apes. They're not really pandemic movies, but I like those movies as a whole, you know? So most of these are either on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and you could check those out, right? So, in the meantime, wash those manos. You know what I mean? Wash those manos. Stay safe, everyone. Stay safe. So check out those movies. Subscribe to the channel. Like, comment. See what else do you guys want. We're stuck here forever. So I just gotta make content somehow. So you subscribe. You like. You comment. You check out those movies. You check out my page. Check out my page if you don't watch anyone. If you don't want to watch any movies. All right. I got videos. So check those out. And anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right. Okay. Deuces. Yeah.